Hello, my name is Clay Miller, and in this presentation, my group and I will share the background of the Inuit people group, ways to advocate for them, and strategies to reach them effectively with the gospel. Let's begin by looking at who the Inuit people are. They are indigenous people of the Arctic and live in the north of what is known today as Canada. They have occupied this land for 5,000 years. While it is considered offensive, it's important to know that many call them Eskimo. Lastly, the Inuit are politically organized within their own jurisdictions. As a fun fact, Inuits were credited with the inventing of the first pair of sunglasses, with their characteristic tiny slits that help them see through the snow's blinding light. Inuit Nunangat translates literally to the place where Inuit live, and it is the land, water, and ice that makes up their homeland, which is integral to their culture and way of life. This land consists of 4 regions in Canada, including the Northwest Territories, Labrador, Quebec, and Nunavut. The Inuit in Canada are partially reached, with around 1.5% being evangelical Christians. Their primary religion is Christianity, but they also have influences of animism and shamanism. There are above 70,000 Inuit in Canada, and they speak Inuktitut as well as Inuit Pidgin and Eskimo trade jargon as their trade languages. There are many basic needs of the Inuit people, and those include safety, quality healthcare, food to eat, protection from violence, safe housing, and the preservation of their culture. By understanding these needs, we can better serve this people group as missionaries. In terms of social justice, Inuit people have lower educational attainment, weak community infrastructure, limited access to post-secondary education, lack of affordable housing, lack of childcare, and a shortage of jobs, and they also struggle with fights over their land boundaries, cultural respect, international recognition, and respect for their self-governance.
In context of human flourishing, there are 2 lifestyles of the Inuit, traditional and modern. And within these categories, there are subcategories: clothing, diet, homes, and ways of travel. Within the traditional lifestyle, the parka is a very common coat that is worn, along with pants, mittens, and footwear made from caribou or sealskin. The diet consists of fish and some land animals, and also very little fruit or vegetables. Igloos are temporary homes when fishing and hunting, and turf huts and summer tents are used year-round. Sledges are a common way of travel, and usually dogs are used to pull these. If not, they're dragged by the user. Within the modern lifestyle of the Inuit, clothing is just as any modernized community. Modern Inuit communities also do not have to hunt for their own food, but unfortunately they struggle with high alcohol consumption. Just as any typical modern community, there is air conditioning, plumbing, and similar materials as places in the United States for their homes. A common way of travel is the use of gas-powered engines, such as snowmobiles, to get around.
So the Inuit people have a rich cultural heritage. It's deeply tied to their environment in the Arctic regions of Canada. They've thrived in one of the world's harshest climates, which is pretty crazy. Their language is central to their identity, and their relationship with the natural world is a key part of their worldview. Understanding their relationship with the environment helps us appreciate their contributions. Some needs of the Inuit people, they don't have much access to healthcare. It's overcrowded housing, and they also have disparities in education. So there's a big need for culturally appropriate mental health service and improved healthcare infrastructures. And another major issue is climate change, which directly impacts them by altering wildlife patterns, melting sea ice, and stuff like that.
One of the ways to engage with the Inuit people would be to learn and to listen from their experiences and their struggles and what they need help with, and partnering up alongside of them, advocating for policy changes, promoting environmental sustainability, and how we can just be a helping hand through the sufferings they've experienced. And there's an urgency for sharing the gospel. They've experienced just a lot of discomfort and injustice, and just in the way that they worship the different spirits who either bring healing or protect their family or their land. We see what they're seeking out after, and that is a way we can come in alongside of them and share the hope of the gospel with them. And there's a great urgency because they cannot call on the one that they have not believed in, and they can't believe in one that they have not heard of, as Romans 15:14-15 tells us.
Our strategy is to go to the Inuits during the summer, which will give us the warmest climate and also will give us the midnight sun season, which allows more daylight and warmth just to give us more opportunity to reach the Inuit people. The language that we're going to be learning is the Inuit trade language. This is Eskimo trade jargon, and it's a combination of Russian, English, and Inuit, and it's similar to Simple English, as you can see in the example above. This is common between Northwestern Inuits, so it would be the best option for us. Our entire strategy is based off of connecting through values. So there are commonalities between the values of the Inuit tribe and the values of the gospel, and we are trying to emulate those connections. The cool thing about the Inuits is that they communicate wisdom and spirituality through storytelling, so there's a clear connection through the way Jesus spoke through parables and stuff, and I think that's a good way for us to connect to these people. We have a 5-month strategy of how we can connect to their values, so this will go into different detail about what that looks like. Ultimately, our goal is just to connect to these people through, storytelling and things like that. So we're going to be building relationships. We're going to be hosting communal gatherings and things like that, all things that they value. And we're just going to be introducing Jesus as someone who can fit in their culture, someone who, loves family, loves generosity, loves the earth and things like that, which are all things that they value. Our goal is just to introduce him and then invite different spaces for different leaders and mentors to come up and then spread the gospel further throughout their nation.
In conclusion, as Christians, we hold something beyond valuable, and that is the gospel of Jesus Christ and the hope of salvation. We as believers are given a purpose, and that is to share what has been gifted to us, which that we are gifted a freedom in Christ and a future of eternity. Since we have the gospel, it would be unfair to keep it for ourselves. Let us chase the lost and live the ways of Jesus so that we may have more brothers and sisters in Christ alongside us. We do not want this to just be a presentation to inform you, but to impact and inspire you to make a change. We encourage you to go and make disciples, whether that is locally or globally. We challenge you to make an impact, to make heaven crowded.